What's up, guys? We're back. We are on our final part 3 of 67 days surrounded by enemies, battle for Pincher Strongpoint. This has been insane, and we just ended part 2 on a major cliffhanger. They're getting assaulted by, I believe, 3 Russian tanks right now, and our main character, this guy here, is shooting launchers at him. So, real quick, thank you to all the members. As always, thank you guys. I sound like a broken record, but you have no idea how much it means to me. Thank you. This here, at some point, it's very supportive to me and what I'm doing here in Ukraine. So thank you. For anybody that's new here, my name is Saxon. I go by Vegas here in Ukraine. I was in the International Legion last year, January, March, April. Yeah, January, March, April. Then I ended up coming back a little bit later. I was in 1st Battalion, Charlie 3 Platoon. And before I was in the Legion, I was a firefighter at EMT outside of Fort Worth, Texas. All right, let's jump into it. Part 3, 67 days surrounded.
Contacted on signal and gave information to the tank that passed us my AT launcher.
Let me rewind just a little bit.
And so 2 more coming. I shouted, "Guys, the tanks are coming." 1 AT launcher didn't work. "Strip me the RPG, I'll hit it with that." Someone said, "I don't know how to strip it." I said, "Open YouTube and watch a tutorial." I said, "Guys, 2 tanks, get in touch with..."
Open YouTube and watch a tutorial on how to ready an RPG-18 while there's a tank 10 meters away from them. Oh my God.
"Pickup. Is there any comms?" But they've jammed the signal. No contact with Star through the signal or radio communication set. We're only hearing the pickup. I contacted on signal and gave information to the tank that passed us my AT launcher didn't work. And I missed the second one. He said, "Roger, roger." I said, "Guys, I didn't hit a single target with the VOG. But if I had hit with VOG, it would have turned the barrel and blown it up. Well, our shelter wasn't special. We had an earth embankment. If it had hit, they would have identified us. Those 2 behind us, they would have finished us off, for sure." I said, "Well, maybe that would have been fine too." I said, "All right, now we have drones. I know how Freedom works." I said, "Guys, Freedom is going to tear them up with FPV drones. We just need to wait."
An enemy convoy was moving. Leading the column were 2 tanks, fully reinforced with what they call mangals, barbecue-style cages, and fitted with mine rollers, like those used for laying asphalt, designed to sweep minefields. Behind them followed 5 armored vehicles with infantry, ready to dismount. Their objective was clear: to clear a path all the way to our infantry positions, make a landing into our trenches. From what we've observed, and what we've seen from neighboring positions, their tactic is the same. They send their infantry into our trenches while we're occupied with trench warfare. Meanwhile, a second wave of infantry arrives on the cleared road. In essence, they're outnumbered. This tactic is old and predictable, and we've adapted our response. We began targeting the tanks. We managed to stop the first tank, mines, FPV, drones, and an anti-tank system all worked in combination. The crew had no chance.
Oh, shit.
The second tank hit mines, and the crew bailed out and started retreating. It was obvious that the orcs had orders to keep advancing. As the armored vehicles began maneuvering around the disabled tanks and continued moving in our direction, and then they started destroying the armored vehicles, right in front of the position where the guys were firing.
Oh.
The infantry dismounted of the damaged armored vehicles, and they tried to drop explosive payload, tried to hit them right away. Accordingly, they scattered, and most of them ran towards our positions.
The tanks passed through, dismounted their infantry. They were turning back. They said, "Engage them." I said, "We have nothing to hit them with." He said, "Roger, just stand by. They'll pass by you." I relayed this to pickup. I texted on Signal, relayed this to pickup over walkie-talkie. I said, "Guys, it's okay. The tanks will pass. Don't engage, just have your small arms ready." I contacted Toma. "Where's the infantry? Did they dismount? Are they heading toward us?" He replied, "No, they're moving into the forest plantation to Star." I asked again, "Where's the infantry? Why did they pass us?" I heard vehicles, wheeled vehicles. "Are the tanks definitely past us?" He confirmed, "Yes, MTLBs are heading your way." I replied, "Damn, we don't have anything to hit them with." He said, "MTLBs are heading your way." I replied, "Damn, we don't have anything to hit them with." He said, "They're not combat vehicles." I answered, "I know, but they've got infantry inside." He said, "Hold on." Then I heard a distant explosion. "We got one." I asked, "What about the second one?" No reply. Then over the walkie-talkie, "Prepare for contact." At that point, I was firing at the tank. I moved to the single firing position. Roma was up front, ready with his rifle. Behind him was Sanya Komiak. To my left was Puppet. I told Roma, "Go out and engage them. Throw grenades. If they're dismounting from the MTLB, they won't be quick. Toss grenades at the entrance. They'll get scattered." I handed him the grenades. He moved out. I could only see his legs from the bunker. I had my walkie-talkie, rifle, and phone all in one.
Oh shit. Dude, I didn't even see they were scrapping up on the top right there.
From the bunker, the entrance, they'll get scattered. I handed him the grenades. He moved out. I could only see his legs from the bunker. I had my walkie-talkie, rifle, and phone all in one. I heard tat, 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 tat. He started firing. Then
What the fuck, dude? This is crazy. This guy over here on the farthest right Russian doesn't even look like he's got armor on or a helmet. He's got like a beanie and a sweater.
I heard chak kak, and he shouted that his rifle had jammed. I handed him another one. I told Sanya, "Come out too. You cover one side, Roma will cover the other. We can't let them flank us." Start throwing grenades. I threw more grenades toward him, knowing he'd gone out without any. "Keep tossing grenades. They'll panic when the explosions start."
He smoked this dude, the closest one to him on his left. He smoked that guy, I believe.
He replied, "Roger, Roger."
I came out right away. It turned out that I was the very first near the entrance. I got out and saw the enemy coming from the left and right along the trench. I opened fire with my automatic rifle, left to right. Sasha was the second one out. Komiak Sanya. He gave me grenade.
Throw.
I started throwing grenades at them. The machine jammed. They gave me another one. I started firing. Then I asked Sanya Komak, "Sanya, come out and help me." Sasha came out and we started to fight together. The two of us started throwing grenades, shooting and everything. I don't know how long the fight lasted. 5 minutes? I don't know.
I couldn't see, but I could hear. I only saw their legs. I heard one of the bastards yelling, "You fucked me off already," followed by a submachine gun burst. Tada tada tada. I realized it wasn't our gunfire. It was directed at our guys. At that moment, I saw Roma trying to get into the dugout, but the entrance was too small. He couldn't fit in. I grabbed him by the legs and pulled him inside. As I was pulling him in, Sasha crouched down, completely blocking the entrance with his body. Roma said, "Sanya is killed." I asked, "Are you injured?" He replied, "Yes, I'm injured." I told him to come here. He moved into the blindage. I grabbed my rifle. I understood that I couldn't leave because I had no idea where the bastard was. I wouldn't have time to identify him. I thought I had to fight chaotically, shooting everywhere to make sure they could hear that I was firing. We had preloaded magazine cases. I took my rifle and started firing in all directions. I could hear one of them moving nearby, so I aimed toward that sound and kept firing nonstop. When my ammo ran out, I reloaded and continued. Tada tada. The gun jammed. I kicked it with my foot and kept firing. It jammed again. I tossed the rifle to Puppet, shouting, "Clean it and reload the loading cases, or we are dead." Puppet relayed over the walkie-talkie with pickup, bandaging the wounded and reloading the loading cases while cleaning the rifle. Meanwhile, I was engaged in continuous fire. I thought to myself, I need to throw a grenade. I grabbed a grenade, threw it out of the dugout, and heard it explode. Then I shouted, "Guys, they're going to start tossing grenades at us soon because they can't get closer." I heard the distinct sound of a grenade. I can hear them clearly, the sound of grenades firing off. I flattened myself against the wall here. They're all exploding against the wall. and it did not roll to us, because Sanya, he died, he crouched, and in the place where he crouched, he blocked the last hole through which anything could get to us. A grenade landed at his feet, exploded. I keep fighting. I heard another grenade went off. It landed at his feet, and he held it with his dead body. It exploded again, but I kept firing. That's how it was. Damn it, I don't even know for how long, damn it. I really don't know how long it lasted. I have no idea how long this lasted. It was total chaos. I can't even tell you how long we fought like that. I tried to reach out to Star, but no connection. Nothing. We're only in contact with pickup via signal. They already destroyed our antenna. No comms. I could hear them moving around, firing at us, but they couldn't get a direct line of fire into our dugout. I was doing everything I could to prevent them from getting a direct line of fire. They didn't hit us with RPGs or anything. I was holding this position, countering. I told the guys, if we go silent, we will be dead. We're reloading ammo, cleaning our AK rifles. I saw Roma applying on a tourniquet. I told Puppet, apply a dressing to his arm. I saw his arms not broken, but a bullet went through it, straight through, leaving it open on both sides. He took out a bandage. I said, no, not a bandage. I said, here, a hemostatic. Take the hemostatic, open it, patch up it tightly. It's a bandage, patch up it tightly. It's a bandage, patch up it tightly. And it will stop bleeding. I kept fighting. Then another grenade. Fuck it. And I don't know. They must have thrown at least 10 grenades at us. All of them landed near Sanya's feet. He literally blocked it with his own body. Fuck, grenade didn't reach us. Do you understand? Fuck.
Bro. Thank you, bro. Alexander Komiak covered the soldiers with his body.
Holy shit. Let's just take a second here. God, I feel like I'm like sweating just listening to that. You know, it's one thing to hear somebody's firsthand experience, especially here in this conflict, because there's so many of them, right? And there's so much chaos, and I've heard so many stories, but seeing drone footage along with his story is just makes it so fucking real, dude. I mean, they were, by every metric, they should be dead. By every metric. Outnumbered, outgunned, fucking tanks. And you got to think, man, I mean, whether you believe in God or the universe or higher power, the fact that their brother in arms died right there, right in the perfect position to block, 10 plus or a whole bunch of frag grenades and save the lives of everybody else in that bunker. Coincidence? Or divine intervention? I don't know. You be the judge, man, but whew. All right, let's keep going.
He covered them to the end. He took the fight.
The fight had already subsided. I checked the time. It was around 2 p.m. I could hear FPV drones targeting us. Our guns were probably firing back too. Artillery was firing, just hitting hard to kill those bastards.
I mean, this is modern combat's cavalry, like in the movies. You got the Apache helicopters coming in to save the day, or the AC-130 launching rounds. That's and everybody's okay, and they save the heroes. Now the cavalry is a whole bunch of fucking FPV swarm, dude.
That 3-group attack against us was over. Later, they started coming in groups of 5 or 3. They found wounded and shoot back. During this time, when the comms were disrupted, we had spider antenna and another mounted separately. I turned it on, adjusted the signal, but it wouldn't catch anything from inside the trench. I had to stick my hand out of the trench to get a signal. The first time I reached out, I sent some information, but then a bastard fired a burst at me. I quickly pulled my hand back and didn't get hit. This happened a couple of times until, apparently, they killed him out. After that, I managed to communicate properly. That's how I was sending messages. Hand out of the trench. I relay a couple of words to the pickup. They'd relay it to Vietnam. Vietnam would pass it to Star. And then back to Vietnam. Vietnam to the pickup. And I'd wait for the response to come back to me. I sent the message. Relay to Star, we're withdrawing today. They responded. Roger, Roger today. They responded. Roger, Roger either today or tomorrow. Later, as it got darker and dusk settled in, we received confirmation that vehicles were coming to pick us up. I said, pass the information to Star, it'll understand. Hit the forest plantation at Star with all weapons. That's where the fuckers, they should just throw mines, explosive payloads, everything they've got. Kill them. We'll move through the woods at night. I would withdraw the soldiers. He said, Roger, Roger. Then pauses and said, no, Volodos, this plan is fuckingly risky. The vehicles won't tom for you. He added, we'll cover you. Here's how it goes. You have cloaks. There are 4 people in the pickup. 2 of them come to you and you meet them. One of yours gets on the pickup. I decided the first one to go would be the wounded. I said, the wounded is being moved to the center. First, Skiff goes, followed by Vilnius, and I don't remember who else. They come out of the trench. The command is given to move, and we've got 3 drones hovering above us, plus 3 FPVs. There's an FPV on out. One of ours hovering and another on the forest plantation at Star. If there's any movement to drop, boom, it's all over. They step out, move 3 or 4 meters, and I heard a burst of automatic fire. I thought of asking Star what happened, but then I stayed silent. I figured it was an automatic burst. Either our guys fired or they were fired upon. Our guys were not shouting or retreating. I thought to myself, you could not kill 3 men in a row with a burst like that, especially with only 4 rounds of ammo. That means our guys are alive. It was probably our fire, maybe even a random shot. I decided not to ask so as not to interrupt Star, who's on a closed channel guiding them with a drone, telling them how to cross the field. They're moving out, it turned out. Bastards in front, behind, and to the sides. And we have to cross this field. About 20 minutes later, Star reports back. Vlados, Roger, Roger, the first group is Roger. I replied, understood. Then the second group arrived. 2 guys from the pickup came. I took one of them, and we headed out across the field. I asked, guys, when you were crossing, about 3-4 meters in, there was a shot. What was that? Was it you? Skiff said. Yeah, that was us. I said, we were moving, saw wounded crawling, barely started to say something, and boom, he was done. We said, that's it, we withdrew, no issues.
Were there heavy losses for the enemy? How many did you see taken out there?
When I was withdrawing, I didn't count the bodies, but I stepped over 2 and saw a 3rd one crawling. And in the evening, the commander called and said that we had killed 50 people. Fuck, a lot of equipment.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
You don't have to go far afield, yeah.
Is that your gear, mate?
That's my gear.
Show us your gear.
These are the same pants and the exact same combat shirt I wore. I bought them because they've been passed through all these challenges, and they'll pass more.
You wore this through 2 months of non-stop fighting.
Yeah.
What will you do with it now?
I'm going to burn it to hell. There's no point keeping it. These are the worst memories. I wanted to burn it earlier, but I just threw it in a box. Now, when I get home, I'll cook something, light the fire in the pot we bought. First thing I'll do is burn these to hell. I don't need them. Just dirt, shit, blood, piss. Nothing valuable in them at all.
Tell us about how you were greeted by your comrades, your brothers, your commanders.
They were shocked. We walk in, and everyone's hugging, kissing. I kissed company commander on the forehead. I said, Toma, man, I'm so happy to see you. He said, fuck Vlad, you guys are insane. I've never seen anything like this before. You're fucking special forces. After the whole battle was replayed, we started talking.
I want to mention something while it's on the top of my head. I've mentioned this in multiple videos, but I've always said the Ukrainians have done so well against the Russians for a lot of reasons, but in my opinion, one of the main reasons being their straight up willpower, right? They're fighting for their home, their loved ones, family, friends, their things, their property, whatever. They're fighting for their home. So you see something like this happen. These guys fight like fucking honey badgers, dude, like a bat out of hell, and hold off a shit ton of infantry with just some small arms and some grenades. But when the roles flipped, right, and the occupiers, the Russians, they don't fight like this because they're not fighting for their home. They're not protecting their loved ones or their family members, right? They're invading someone else's land. So when shit hits the fan, you'll see them surrender or retreat or whatever it is. That's the difference here. That mindset, this guy right here, is the difference.
Guys, do you realize that Sanya died in a way that he blocked the entrance with his body? Every grenade that exploded near us, he blocked with his own body. They landed at his feet and detonated. I said, guys, we just spoke with his mom yesterday. His birthday is on September 20th. That's in 5 days. Yesterday, when I spoke to her, she asked how I was doing. Let's take his body back. We still had a bag for a fallen comrade. I said, let's use the body bag, take Sanya, put him in. I'll grab gloves and pull him out carefully so we can pack him up. We still have an armored vehicle coming to pick us up. At that moment, we didn't know we'd have to leave on foot. We had been told earlier that armor was on its way. The guys agreed, yeah, let's do it. But then Oli came out and said, no, the armor's minus. I said, so we won't be able to take Sanya? He said, no, guys, we can't. So he stayed there.
What were you thinking about the most during those over 2 months of fighting in those positions?
Home. I called home. I texted my wife. She was constantly supporting me. Thank God for the signal. It's a good thing I took the internet devices away. It honestly saved us so many times. In those first moments when the radio communication set went silent, the signal was a lifesaver, even during the battle. Toma told me to contact through Signal instead of the radio communication set. And for guys,
Signal means the Signal app?
having internet was an absolute lifesaver for us. It also provided a huge moral boost for the guys. When I got to them and brought the internet, they'd been without it for a month. Suddenly, they had access, so they could call home, see their families, and even talk to them. They were amazed to see themselves with beards and hearing from home. They were happy call, talk, and were asked when they'd be rotated out. The answer was always the same, no rotation yet, but at least they could call home, stay in touch. I could call too, and it made everything much simpler.
Please tell us about the person who supported you every day, your wife. What is her name?
Anastasia, she's sitting in the car. She supported me every day. She's a one-of-a-kind wife. If I couldn't get through, she found the company commander's number, found the number of the brigade operations duty officer, and she was calling everyone. I was reached out on the radio set, at position saying, get in touch because rumors are spreading. People are calling, saying you've been killed, or we've been wiped out. There were a couple of days without any communication. She even got in touch with the company commander, but he wasn't responding. I only managed to text her early in the morning on the 15th after I hit the tank. I came back, wrote, we've got tanks approaching, it's a storm. Then I put my phone down. At night, at 2:30 or 3 a.m., I went to Star and texted her, I'm okay. Everything's fine. She's worried. When I got back, Toma, the company commander, hugged me, and the first thing he said was, call Nastia. He did not ask me how I am. He told me, call Nastia. So I called her, and she said, I'm getting on the first train. I asked, when's the first train? She replied, it leaves Kyiv station at 6 a.m. She had already asked one of her friends to help. Her friend's husband is also in the war. She said, no problem. If you need to leave at 4 a.m., we'll make it happen so you can catch the train. They got up, sorted everything out, and left in the early morning. By 6 a.m., she was on the train, heading here. Wow.
What are your parents' names?
Ірина Степанівна і Володимир Святославович.
Ірина Степанівна, Володимир Святославович.
This is really one of the most powerful stories I have ever heard or seen in the war or in life in general. Thank you for raising your son. He is a true Ukrainian hero and an example for everyone in his battalion. I am sure that such commanders and citizens should be the backbone of our defense forces. My friend, thank you very much for your feat.
The soldiers of this position, Roman Omelianenko, Alexander Komyak, and Vladislav Stotsky, all three of them are nominated by me for the award of the Hero of Ukraine. Alexander Komyak is a true Ukrainian warrior. A fighter who selflessly and professionally fought for Ukraine. And the positions they defended left 50 corpses of the occupier and 6 units of burned equipment. I am proud of my comrade in arms. We are proud to be in the same unit with him. Alexander Komyak is a true hero of Ukraine. The commander of the position, junior lieutenant with the call sign Fire, Vladislav Stotsky, I have nominated for the highest state award, Hero of Ukraine. I believe he deserves this title. He is already a hero of Ukraine.
In this video,
Oh, God, dude, that was so intense, that whole freaking video. Wow, that was probably one of the best series that we made, that we've watched, that we've reacted to. You know, I can't help but think about all the countless stories that were just like Vlad's, right? Just like this guy's story and his units, but after one wave or 2 wave or 3 waves, they were eventually killed. And their story will never be shared, you know? Or maybe it will be down the line somehow, some way, but you've got to know that there's heroics like this happening all across the front. Otherwise, Ukraine would not have lasted as long as they have against what used to be the second strongest nation in the entire world, against a nation that wasn't even in the top 20, Ukraine. They fight with heart and soul, and this was such a good video to portray that, man. Wow. Words don't even do it justice, dude. So cool. All right, we'll leave it at that. Again, thank you guys for all the love and support on the channel. The more love we can get on this channel, the more people that can see these videos. Hopefully, the more people stay aware of what's going on here in Ukraine. Keep it in their vision, keep it in the forefront of their mind, because out of sight, out of mind, we don't want them to forget about what's going on here, you know, because it's desperate times right now and they need all the help that they can get. So appreciate you guys. Please like, share, subscribe. I love you.